Hi there. In our early tutorial, we saw that how can we install all the required packages for our node application in the VPS server. In this tutorial, we are going to see that how can we run a git push command from the client side, and that push command will trigger a bash script in our VPS server, and that bash script will handle the node project. So let's see how can we do that. At first, we have two type of repository in git. If we run the git init command, it will create the local repository, and this repository has the update, git add, and git commit command, etc. And we have another git repository called remote git repository that will create it when we type git init dash dash bear command. It will create a remote repository, and that repository do not have to access to modify from the inside the repository. It will only be modified by the local repository's git push command. So in our remote repository, we will add our VPS server location instead of the GitHub location. And then when we trigger a git push command, it will trigger that remote repository. And inside that remote repository has a folder called hooks, and inside that we will create a bash script called bash receive, and then that bash script will trigger when we run the git push command from the client side. So let's see how can we do that. For that, I already create a dummy Node.js simple node application. If I go to my node application, if I run yarn start, I can see my application is up and running. Now I can see my application is working. Now I have to enable git in this directory, git local directory, and I have to remove another tab, and let's log into our VPS server. Now I am in my VPS server. If you do not saw the tutorial that how can I configure our VPS server, you can check out my early tutorials. So in my VPS server, we will create the remote repository, and in the local server, we will create our local repository. So let's create local repository first. Init command. It will create the git command. Now let's create a git ignore file for that. Now let's add our now our local repository is created in my project. Now if I have to pass our remote repositories details in remote add origin, actually let's put a deploy name. Now I have to pass our VPS server details here. So how can we do that? For that, let's create our VPS server first. Then when we get the link, we pass that link here, and then when we run git push, it will trigger our project to the backend VPS server. So let's go to the VPS server. Now in VPS server, let's create a file, so that make directory di, and let's p command. We will create in our home directory apps, and then I will put a name like same name like my node app, so that we can identify which app is belong to node app. And then it doesn't matter, I have to use the same name. I am using the same name so that I can remember. So I have to create two directory, one for repo, that will be the remote repository, and I have to create another folder that will be destination. And if I go to apps, my app repo, now here I will create our remote repository. So how do we do that? We actually discuss that we can use git init beer command. So for that, beer, now I can see this repository is different than the local repository. Let's I can see my actually git git online. I can see my git has this script, but if I run here ls command, I can see completely different structure, and inside I have a hooks folder that we already discussed here. Now let's create a folder like Vim. You can choose any editor. I am comfortable with Vim, so I am choosing Vim. Hooks, the directory name must be same, sorry, the folder name must be same, post receive, else it will not work. So post receive. Now this is our bash script file. So in to make any file to bash script, we have to do three things. At first we have to, like this one, slash, this line tells that it is a bash script file. So let's add some console log. For that it will be echo, it will be post receive file, it will be like triggered this echo. Then what we need to do to deploy a node, or up and running a node application? At first we have to run that npm install or npm yarn install command. So we have to run that here install command. Now but the thing is that where is the node application comes from? The node application will available in this directory. Let's comment out, ignore this file. In this directory will be, when we push anything from this directory, that will be available in this repo. So we have to copy the code from this repo to our destination folder. So for that, let's go to the hooks again. At first we have to copy git git directory, and I have to copy from my home user Riazul, because I log in with this user credential with my VPS server. So that is the username. Then let's actually check. If I type pwd command, I can see the path name. Let's copy the path name from here instead of typing ourselves, if you are confused. So we can see paste here. Now we want that copy from this location to this location. That means it will be destination, and it will be the work 3. Now copy anything from this location to this location. Actually let's put the checkout force, it will be main, because we configured our repository name as a main repository. So after we copy this repository, I have to go to that repository. So let's copy from here and cd. Now then go to that directory, and after that we will run the yarn install command and yarn start command. Now this is our bash script file, as simple as that. Now if I let's add a little bit log, like cloning for, and add here another like installing packages. I do not have any build command, so I can directly run start, like running. Now if I have created the post receive file, and then it is the first step. Then I have to post receive. I have to make this script file as executive file. So for that I have to give a execution permission. For that it will be chmod let's user and group, though we do not have any group, write permission, sorry, execution permission. It will be hooks post receive. Now if I check this again, I can see this time it has the execution permission, both user and group, and we also can see the color is changes. So our bash script file is ready. Now I have to pass this file location in my client side. So that will be command will be like this: git remote add origin. Instead of origin, let pass deploy. Now I have to pass the bash script file location, and that location will be ssh colon / my user. Actually it will be IP address 192.168.0. I think 80. Actually 80, but I have to pass my username. I didn't pass in the username. That means the server username, the server IP colon, sorry, / then the path name. The path name was this one. I can copy paste, it will be easier so that I do not make any typos. So now if I type, I can see git my origin is working. Let's check my origin is correct or not. For that I have to type this command, exactly this command. But instead of here is the / where I actually I typed the / twice, so I have to remove that slash again. And before I do that, I am passing ls ssh. I can see my route is correct, but I have to remove the / from my repository. So I have to git remote remove deploy, and then again add, but this time I have to remove my / okay, my remote repository is set. Now if I push anything, it will trigger my bash script. So if I type push deploy, I can see our bash script running in my server side, and it says that the installation is complete and Node.js is up and running and our server is running. So in my front end, my front end has no effect, but I have to go to my server IP. So for that I have to go to 192.168.0.80 colon 5000. Now I can see my application is up and running. But the problem is that in the bash script file, sorry, this is not hooks post receive. Here I am running yarn command that is run in a terminal. So as soon as I close this terminal, my script actually it's running in a bash script file, but as soon as my server is down or close my bash file, my servers will be no more. So for that, let's if I comment out, let's check I am in my server file. So let's check that my which port is running. For that, command is ssh tcp listening port and name grep node. I can see that my one application is running on 5000 port. If I kill, actually let's pass the name, hard-coded name, PID. Actually PID is 1226. Now if I refresh my page, I can see my server is down because I kill my process. Now if I run, I can see I have no process. Now instead of the hard-coded value like in the post receive file yarn, we will use the pm2 package that we installed in our early tutorial. So let's configure our pm2 here. For that, instead of yarn, I have to use pm2. It will be restart and it will be app. So though this it is not available till now, so let's check out that pm2 package is available or not. I can see my pm2 app is available, so I have to run the package. I give the name app, so I have to run that package. It will be pm2 then start by yarn, name will be app and the command will be start. Now my pm2 is running. Now let's check out again my which services is running. If I type, actually I have to run this command from the destination folder, not from the repo folder. So sorry, let's delete the pm2 delete app cd destination folder. Now I have to type the same command. Now it will be our app is running. So let's check out that our app is running or not. TCP port listening number grep node. Actually my port is not running. Let's check out the problem. Actually I mistyped the command. It will be grep node, not none. it will be node. Now I can see my service is running. So if I go to my here, I can see my app is running. Now my app is fully running in this way. Let's add one more thing, like let's change little bit something so that we can check that our service is updating or not. So let's go to the project folder. Let's enter one more thing, skills. Web developer sys admin. Let's push this command in the backend so that we can check. Push deploy. We can see our project is deployed in our backend side. That post receive file is triggered. That means our bash script file, and it is successfully ready, and our is restarted properly. Now if I go to my repo, if I refresh this page, I can see my update is running. So as we can now we can make any changes in our code and just git push, that will be trigger automatically in our VPS server. It is the location of our VPS server, not mine. If I type localhost 5000, I can see Node is running. It is running in the VPS server. So let's see. In the next tutorial, we will see that how can we deploy any man-stack application instead of a single node application. Then you will get a proper understanding that how we can deploy any Node.js application in our VPS server. So let's see in the next tutorial.